Hey, how's it going? Enrique here. Today, we're going to go over how to draw Man-Thing from Marvel's Werewolf by Night. It is this awesome special that came out. You're going to really recognize this guy. Alrighty, let's get started on layer 1. Okay, this is layer 1. I'm using regular printing paper, but keep in mind I'm going to do the shapes first and then put the other layer over him, okay? So let's get started. Right now, I'm going to start over here by doing a circle for the head area. Okay. Thinking in simple shapes is the best way to draw anything. That's something that you really should remember. I'm going to find a point over here where his shoulder is going to be, and I'm going to go over here for this shoulder. He's going to be turning a little bit that way, this way. So you're going to see more of one shoulder than the other. So he's got this kind of hunched walk. I'm just gonna throw that right there. Don't really have to be clean in this layer. Gonna go over here on this side. Wiggle. Over on this side. Wiggle. Right there. He's got the little tendril kind of coming off the side, and he has that one tendril in the middle. Okay. Just lines, that's it. What we're doing here is we're trying to find placement, and that is it. We're not thinking of anything else, just placement and shapes, okay? Over here, he's got a huge shoulder, so I'm gonna draw maybe just like a circle over here for the top of his shoulder. Go over here on this side. A ball there for the top of the shoulder there, the deltoid. If you want to learn all about just like everything, like anatomy-wise, go check out the Skillshare. And I'm going to start putting them on lessons on the actual website. Down over here. So we got a tube here for kind of shoulder to the elbow area. Then line over here. Another like tube over here to the wrist. And maybe down here we can draw like a hand. Alright. Pulling. I'm going to find the chest, just kind of drawing through the lines right here because, again, this is all for placement purposes. Going to go to this arm on that side and try to line it up a bit. Down, down for like a tube curve. Again, we're doing finding the simple forms, okay? And what you're going to find is you can draw anything with this method. Anything. All you have to do is draw simplistic shapes and then put another piece of paper over it. So line over here, down, down, and then over here we're gonna draw his torso. It's gonna be really small. Line over here, kind of his rib cage, his torso. Circle right here for the pelvis area. Line down here for the leg, and his legs are also twos, but pretty dangly, you know. If you really want, you can draw like the eye shape over here that he has, that Man-Thing has. Don't worry, keep sticking around. We're going to get into the complicated stuff after this, and you're going to see how this factors in. So now, again, regular printing paper. I literally have regular printing paper. I'm going to put a paper over this one sheet. I don't know if you can see it, probably not on the camera, but I and you in real life, if you do it with a marker or whatever, I can see through this paper, even though it's completely regular printing paper. The stuff comes right out of the printer. I can see through it. This is going to allow me to no longer have to think about the placement of the shoulder, placement of the back, placement of the head, the arms, what angle they're at. I don't have to think. Well, I don't really have to think about that at all anymore. Now I can just go in and just go right into the almost detail, almost. So we'll see. So right here, I'm going to find a line down in the middle. Man-Thing has the... By the way, hopefully you guys saw Werewolf by Night. If you haven't, go check it out. It's on Disney Plus. Really amazing Marvel short, and it's very Halloween-esque. Line up over here, so it's like a V shape in the middle of his head. Circle right here as his eye, one of his eyes underneath it. And I drew that line right there for the tube. Line over here for that elephant trunk he has in the center. I'm gonna put it up over here. Line over here on this side. Right there. curved line over here for the other eye. Okay. I'm gonna go over here, pull a line down. I'm gonna draw kind of the end of the tube here. We're not really drawing detail yet. We're just gonna drawing the shapes, the more complicated shapes. So right over here, we're gonna go down the side, above the eye, right here, above the eye over here is kind of the brow. Curve down over here, line over here. Curve on this side, like so.
Sorry,
Oops.
I'm having trouble.
Alrighty. Gonna go over here for the top of the head. Right here, top of the head. And he's this kind of big, like, swamp thing like character. Line over there. Okay. He's got a little bit of, like, grittiness that kind of goes down into just blackness. So we'll kind of put that in later after this. Right now we're just going to keep with the big, the tertiary forms, right? They're big shapes, but more big detail shapes now. I'm going to go over here and find the clavicle, which comes from the kind of pit of the neck, go up to the shoulder. So you're going to find a little bit of the clavicle there. Usually I like throwing a line like that because the muscle on this side and the muscle on this side are kind of meeting up right there. So it's going to create this dark area right below the clavicle usually. Like I said, don't forget, hit the subscribe, click the bell notification. I'm going to teach you how to draw. I'm going to go over every character you can think about. And I post every day, so absolutely stick around. It is just a lot of fun to kind of do this stuff. Over here now. Curve. Curve on the outside. Pulling up. Line down here for kind of, see again, I'm looking at that original tube and I'm just throwing what I know over it. So this is the muscle area. Obviously the muscle area, it's the bicep. It's going to be the forearm right there, which is called the brachioradialis is this muscle. Again, if you want to learn this, go check out my Skillshare or my Udemy. Tricep. Elbow. Curve line down for that area. Back of the arm there. Gonna go over here to the top. He has this big old hunchback thing going on. And it's gonna go down over here because we already drew it. I'm actually drawing a little bit bigger than in my under sketch there. Gonna go over here on this side, pulling out the shoulder, trying to make it even to that. Line back here. Downward here, again kind of that bicep area. Again, you want to kind of even it out. Forearm over here, and then forearm over here. I'm not sure if I'm going to put the hand in there, I'm not sure. Let's go to the chest. So around the chest he's got the center of the pectoralis, which is the center part. Go over here, curve, curve, line. Line over here, line up there. Underneath, going to be the rib cage. Curve underneath there for the rib cage. Pulling into his side. Down over here to the waist. And then it's going to move right into the legs. Alrighty. Line here for the other leg, line here for the other leg, line here for the other leg, curve, then pulling up the other side of the rib cage over here. And then right now his arm's going to go back there. And then we might have him just kind of in water because he does kind of have that swamp thing going on. And it'll save us drawing hands because they're going to go off the page, so I think I'm going to do that. So line over here, flat. Line over here, and then We're gonna draw straight lines across. You can kind of use this for anything. Just draw these lines over here. Alrighty. So now let's go into detail with him. There's a lot of detail you can go into with him. So first things first, let's go right into kind of the face, right? This elephant trunk's it's really more like a tree root, right? So there's gonna be kind of some folding here, and think about it like you're thinking of like a radish or something. So a little bit more there. It's gonna even that out. I feel like it should be more even, that area of the root there. And so I'm thinking of this like a cylindrical form, and I'm drawing lines across it, pretty similar to like an elephant trunk, to be honest. And I'm just drawing these scratch marks right here, like, and I'm thinking of the cylindrical form around it and what it can do, right? Going right here underneath his face, I'm going to draw some kind of darkness going down, because that's really how his face looks. It's very much shrouded in darkness. I'm going to leave a line here to see that pectoralis, and then I'm going to draw a little bit more darkness right here. A little bit more. Same thing over here. Circle, circle, circle. Curve, curve, curve. Curve, curve. Curve, curve, curve. Right here. Same thing right there, treating that just like the center, right? Throwing these little tree root things. There we go. It's kind of pulling all the way down. Here. Again, treating that as well, like the same way. Right on. And now he's got texture all over him, and I would say something you can do is you can maybe throw like a lot of darkness around the center area right here, because that's going to give the rest of it a lot of form. So if we try to do that right now, I'm going to fill a lot of dark right there, a lot of dark right here, a lot of dark, but leaving some lines so you can see where shapes change. Right here through the center area. Just gonna like throw like a large dark area over here through the center of him entirely, and that's gonna give it a you know, he's always in the dark, honestly, this character, so it's gonna give it some sort of like atmosphere for it. Dark right here below the arms, right here below the pectoralis. A little pectoralis on this side, right here below the bicep. Like I said, if you don't know anatomy, absolutely go check that out. It's in the Skillshare. Go take a look at that. It'll be on the website at some point soon, but right now it's just in the Skillshare, all the anatomy lessons. Right on. It's already kind of taken shape. And then right here I'm going to curve line here for muscles in the leg. Might throw a little bit more shadow on this side as well. Same thing goes over here on this side. And you have to find that balance of like, what do you show, what do you not show, right? Like how much dark will there be, how much won't there be? So right here, there's splits in his pec. There's just striations, don't worry about it. I wouldn't worry about it as far as the anatomy goes on that one. Right here, a little bit of dark for the brachialis on this one. It's basically a large muscle that goes around the side there. Curve right here. A little bit of dark over here at the bottom line. Don't forget to hit the like, by the way, if you like Man-Thing or if you like the tutorial, absolutely. Kerr over here, there's a muscle in the leg, kind of throwing up lines. But like I said, a lot of him is going to be very ambiguous. It's going to be very, like, textury, because he's like this, I think like a tree man or something, right? He's going to be very, very, very textury. So right here you can draw little curves. Maybe you can just pepper the curves all over the place, especially on this hump area. You can draw like these little curves to give him some sort of texture, right? We're drawing them thin, though, thin lines, because if you put that everywhere thick, it's gonna supersede everything. Right there, you only want to keep the center stuff thick. Go over here. Go over here. Just kind of throwing these bumps over. If you want, you can throw little circles as well, which look like little plant particles, right? Little circles, like full circles. All right, just kind of putting them everywhere. See, the thing is, at this point, since like look back at this, right? We had this, that was a simple shapes. Now we have this. All I have to think about is details like that, you know, which might seem overwhelming if you had to think about like the length of the arm and all this stuff. Like I said, you can do this for anything. You can draw literally anything that way. And I like marker because I can see right through the paper real easy on my end here. So like, you know, really kind of consider that. Consider using that method for other stuff, right? Doing simple shapes, we draw like a dog or a cat or, you know, even, you know, just people in general. It would be a good idea to do that. But yeah, see, I'm pulling these lines everywhere. And honestly, this is going to take a bit, so I'm going to fast forward this, and then I'll come right back and talk to you after we're done. Alright, that's it. Basically, I threw a lot of darks around. Well, I mean, I guess I could throw a little bit more in the water here. But that is Man-Thing. I ended up putting a lot of those dots everywhere. And just kind of, what you have to do is you have to be careful not to overdo it, especially with characters like this. You know, things like Swamp Thing or Man-Thing. Or you have to be really, really careful. Otherwise, it could easily go sour, right? It could easily just become a huge ball of trash. So I think that's what these darks do in the center, and that's kind of a technique you can do for those characters like that, would be because they're hunched over, right? So obviously there's going to be less light kind of in their midsection area. So putting more darks in that area. If you want to learn all about darks and lights and how to play stuff like that, go check out the main website at sketchingeasy.com. Go check out the full-blown courses on you know, Udemy and Skillshare that I have. The links are below. You can always kind of do this stuff. It's a little bit laborious to teach it. That's why there's whole lessons on it. There's whole courses on it even. But thank you so much. I appreciate it. Stay frosty, stay fun, stay pushing. Okay, keep pushing it, guys. See you in the next video.